Hi, welcome to LSB Feasters Radio Channel, where we keep great radio from the past alive. And today, we're going to WLS in Chicago and John Records Landecker. Landecker, I mean, he's a radio legend. His radio career spans over 50 years. He's done it all. He's worked in Michigan. He's worked in Philadelphia, WIBG, CFTR, Toronto, Power 108 in Cleveland, and of course, several stations in Chicago, including WLS multiple times, WLUP, the Loop, G106, WCKG, WJMK, and today on 720 WGN. It's kind of cool just being able to hear his body of work. He's got so much creativity, and he's just so much fun to listen to. So if you're ready, let's go back with John Records Landecker on 89 WLS Chicago.
WLS invites you to make a difference.
Hi, I'm Stefan Humphries of the Chicago Bears. Join me in the March of Dimes to prevent birth defects on Sunday, April 27th. Sign up at any 7-Eleven store and come walk with the Bears and WLS.
You can help in the fight against birth defects by joining us on Walk America Sunday, April 27th. Pick up your sponsor sheets now at any 7-Eleven store and sign up as many sponsors as you can. Get your friends to walk too. It's a chance to have a lot of fun and do a lot of good for the future. Thanks from the March of Dimes, the Chicago Bears, and AM 89.
AM 89 WLS and Survivor's Eye of the Tiger and The Greatest Love of All from Whitney Houston before that with John Landecker. And we've taken a small break now, and we've revitalized ourselves. 10 minutes after 10 o'clock, WLS, your official Hands Across America station for the Midwest. Listen for all the details and how you can get involved. And if you'd like to donate now, call 1-800-USA-9000. You can help us help America's hungry and homeless. And, of course, the current operating Hands Across America joke. Everybody links hands across America. A guy in San Diego rubs his feet into the carpet while a guy in Maine attempts to put a balloon on his forehead. WLS, good evening. You're on the air. Hello.
Hey, John?
Yeah.
This is your pal. You know the guy with the song?
What?
The guy with the songs? The Alice Cooper song?
Yeah. What was the song called?
I Never Cry?
Right.
I'm on. Okay, hold on. I have to talk to someone here. Hold on 1 second.
No, thanks for calling.
Okay, no, I
What?
have to ask you something.
What?
Okay, about, okay, you know, okay, I listened to your show a lot and everything like that. I never knew, okay, I thought you were like a real wild and crazy guy listening to you today, like, you know, on saying, okay, you know, you're like, you're not, you know, you make jokes about it, sure, but, okay, I never knew you could, like, get this in-depth about something serious, you know?
Well, that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more than okay, but, okay, I've heard like a lot of people say that okay, and up till now, you know, it started looking like it was true that Gaddafi was sort of the weird new kid on the block, or the weird little kid on the block that was too strange for the big guys to screw around with, you know. Okay, and I think this like American retaliation was, you know, well overdue and everything like that. But okay, has anyone ever looked at like how Gaddafi, we know how Gaddafi thinks, he's a madman, but have we ever, like, no one's ever gotten inside his head, so, you know, they don't know what he's thinking, like...
Well, hold on a second. First of all, I think that Reagan said in the last time he was on the air, not tonight, but the time previous, that there's no way of knowing what Gaddafi thinks. One day he's saying one thing, and one day he's saying the next thing. I don't think anybody's been inside Gaddafi's head. If they were, then perhaps we wouldn't be in the situation that we are now, but that's a whole different story. So, go ahead. What?
Okay, what do you... Okay, you've heard that Gaddafi thing that he's not mad at, doesn't carry a grudge against the American people. He just doesn't like Mr. Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. One thing. Okay. How? Okay. If he does it, why does he attack U.S. citizens instead of just like sending a few assassins after Ronald Reagan? You know.
Well, it depends on whether or not you believe him, don't you think?
Okay. And I don't think I would believe a person in that state. Okay. My view would be personally to send.
Alice Cooper.
Yeah, that's the exact person I was thinking of over there.
All right, listen, thanks for calling.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm glad you're surprised, but I'm glad you think it's okay, too.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Good night.
Hey, John.
Bye.
Yeah, where is that call, anyway?
Could you
WLS,
try
you're on the air. Hello.
Second
Hello,
tier
how
of
you doing?
calls.
Okay.
First I want to thank you for putting me on the air. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a couple things to tell you.
All right.
Number one is I am from Libya, and the message I have to give the people is that, well, just as Gaddafi, I don't know if you believe in that or not, just as Gaddafi says that he doesn't hold a grudge, so to speak, against the American people shouldn't hold a grudge against Libyan citizens either, because what Gaddafi thinks or what he does is not necessarily what we support.
Why? How long? You don't? If you don't mind me saying so, you sound quite naturalized.
Naturalized? I've been here for about 6.5 years.
Okay. And what got you to the United States?
What got me here?
Well, I mean, why did you come?
Why did I come?
Mhm.
I had an uncle who was born here, and I came here to go to school. I just finished my bachelor's degree, and I don't think I want to go back.
Okay, well, I appreciate your call.
And also,
Do you find that this is a difficult place for you to live now or not?
that's exactly what I want to talk about. Although my patriotic feelings for my country have been hurt by Mr. Reagan's actions, I 100% support him, because I believe that anybody who fools around with American properties has to be able to pay the price, no matter what country it is. And if I were in his shoes, I would probably do the same. And
What about the? What is your opinion of the? The Libyan stereotypes, the jokes. There was somebody that called earlier tonight and said now it's not possible to walk into a Dunkin' Donuts or take a cab without worrying about your personal safety.
I don't really get into that kind of stuff, because you Americans make the same kind of jokes about the Poles and against Italians. And I just, I think it's ignorance, that's all.
Okay, thanks a lot for calling. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, good night.
Bye-bye.
WLS, you're on the air. Hello.
Yeah, I'd like to first tell you you're doing a great job whenever, like, you're on the spot and stuff.
Thank you.
And, when things come up like this, and,
Well, this isn't an everyday situation, that's for sure.
Yeah, I
At
know,
least I
but-
hope not.
also when you were in the wrestling thing, you adapted pretty well.
Thank you.
But, about before, the guy called and, tried to get Israel into the thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything, I understand why, you didn't want to get into it and stuff, and I agree with you. But I really don't think, I'm from Israel, and I really don't think that it's fair putting Israel into this, because they have absolutely nothing to do with it,
Okay.
with the whole situation.
Too bad I didn't know you two were on the lines adjacent to each other. We could put you both on the air at the same time, and I could have been Ted Koppel here.
Well, you're doing a pretty close job to that.
Well, thanks for calling.
Okay, thank you.
Good night. WLS, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, I was just wondering, do you know if the Soviet Union, if we told the Soviet...
Yes, we did.
We told the Soviet Union, I mean, before or after we attacked?
Now, Chip and I were just talking about this. I understood to believe, from what I heard tonight, that we gave prior information to the Soviet Union that this whole deal was going to happen. Not only did we give them prior information, we gave them the reasons why.
What did the Soviet Union say?
That we do not know.
No, I heard it
What?
to believe that,
All right, come on, what?
While the operation was in progress, as we began to bomb, we called in the charge of affairs in Washington, told him why we were taking this action, giving the diplomat the evidence that we have accrued, and then told him what we are going to do, what our targets were, and what the planes involved were, and where they were coming from. We didn't tell him before the attack. We didn't tell him while we were...
Now, wait a minute. Didn't we hear
warming up.
that you got the same information I did, or did you hear something differently?
Well, I heard it was they brought the guy in as the attack was occurring.
From what I picked up from the Schultz-Weinberger press conference, I understood it to believe that we brought the Soviet in before it happened.
Yeah.
If that's true, then
Because
that's
also,
even a better...
and this is the same line of reasoning that went into, well, not only, of course, they'd have to get Margaret Thatcher in because they used those bases and obtained permission from the British government to use the American bases there for this specific mission. So I understood it to believe that the Russians were informed beforehand.
Yeah, but and the Russians said nothing, though? They didn't react at all?
They didn't.
We're not told.
We weren't told.
No.
I'm sure they reacted. We just don't know.
We'll find out tomorrow, I'm sure.
As the whole world will react. And I think Schultz said that there was going to be a variety of different responses from a variety of different countries, and that the route that the planes took was determined because they were not given, the United States was not given permission by some participating NATO countries to fly over their airspace to do this particular mission.
Do you know which
No,
countries?
I don't know. I'm sitting here running the controls, doing the show, answering the phones, and queuing up the tapes.
Yeah.
I can't keep track of everything, okay?
We have it on tape, right?
Yeah, but we don't have time to go over it at this particular point, but it'll be definitely at the forefront of tomorrow morning's news, so...
Yeah. You know what, the one thing with the situation that hasn't really been brought up is, you know that Gaddafi has got to want to retaliate with this. And what about the American citizens that are in Europe now?
Good question. Very good question. Those questions were posed at the press conference, and if the United States government knows this particular point, they're not saying.
You know, especially since didn't Gaddafi say a couple days ago that he was going to attack every city in Europe, or something like every city?
Well, even beyond that, he was moving, according to the papers today and yesterday, he was moving American citizens and European citizens to what he felt were strategic locations in Tripoli, and Libya, that these people would be located in areas that the United States would strike at. So,
one other thing,
Okay, here we go. Diplomatic sources said earlier that Gaddafi ordered 5 foreign companies to move their workers to Libyan military camps. The sources say 2 West German firms and 2 South Korean firms and 1 Swedish firm were ordered to move. Well, there's also over 1,000, I believe, British subjects in Libya, and there's also a large amount, there's still some Americans there.
Yeah. Did they say at all how many civilians were killed, or if any?
Nope, nothing.
No?
And there are all sorts of rumors, but nothing pinned down by the American sources, as far as we could tell from what was on the tube tonight.
So we'll probably learn that tomorrow, huh?
Maybe even later.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Good night. WLS, you're on the air. Hello. WLS, hello.
John?
John, yes?
Phew. Takes a long time to get to you.
We've got every single phone line that we have here is lit up, and there's no way to blow through them quickly.
I know.
You there? Are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Okay.
Chip was right. I heard on TV. I'm up here in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get your reception up here too good, but I get you. And I was listening to TV, and your fellow Chip, he is right.
They were
Russians
informed during?
Were notified after the planes were on their way.
But you haven't heard any reaction from them, have you?
No,
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you. I misinterpreted that then. I stand corrected if that's the way it is.
Yeah, and I really think this is good that for once the loose lips in Washington kept their mouths shut this time.
All right,
and it wasn't all over the medium what was going on.
All right, thanks for calling.
Thanks, Minnesota.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night.
We'll be back.
What's the #1 leisure activity in America? Jogging? Golf? According to the Gallup poll, it's gardening. So there's a good chance I'm talking to a gardener right now. And if I am, you'll want to write down this number, 1-800-TILLERS. You see, the Troy-Bilt people who make the famous rear-tine rototiller want to find out if they can reach gardeners through the radio. So if you call within the next hour, but only within the next hour, they'll send you a very special free information kit. It's great reading for gardeners about the ultimate gardening machines that till, cultivate, and power compost, but are easy enough to operate with just one hand. And every Troy-Bilt is here, from the affordable Junior to the big new Kohler. Call 1-800-TILLERS, toll-free. There's no obligation. After all, Troy-Bilt wrote the book on rototillers, and yours is free if you call in the next hour. 1-800-TILLERS.
I'm backstage where the Muppets are rehearsing. I don't know if I can contain my excitement. Why, they're so close I can almost touch them. There's Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fozzie, Gonzo, Scooter, all those other Muppet stars I have loved all these years, and they're all in an incredible, all-new musical stage production of The Muppet Show, live on tour, 2nd edition. Now back to the studios while I regain my composure.
While she regains her composure, we're losing ours because The Muppet Show on Tour is coming to the Rosemont Horizon April 30th through May 4th. And listen to what we have lined up. Wednesday, April 30th is Dominic's opening night. All seats half price courtesy of Dominic's Finer Foods. Thursday, May 1st is Kodak Photo Night. A box of Kodak film will save you $2 off any ticket at the box office and give you the opportunity to take your child's picture with selected Muppet characters. And finally, your local participating Burger King restaurant will have discount coupons for the May 2nd through May 4th shows. Tickets for The Muppet Show on Tour can be purchased at the Horizon box office and Ticketmaster. Visa and MasterCard, call 559-1212.
Say right now that first of all, do we have any idea whether or not is this Bulls promotion scheduled for tomorrow night also?
Yeah,
Chip?
the whole week.
The whole week, okay. Well, we've got tickets here for the Bulls in their first home playoff game April 22nd against the Celtics. Our lines are clogged with other activities tonight. These tickets are provided by the Chicago Bulls for WLS, and if we don't get to all of them tonight, we'll make up for it later on. I understand that there's some contractual situations with the mentions for the Bulls and the tickets and the giveaway, but there are other events that are happening this evening, and we made the decision earlier tonight to carry Reagan live, and also the
WLS.
Schultz-Weinberger press conference afterwards, and
WLS.
we're dealing with that. So we will definitely get to the Bulls before the end of the week.
Okay, hold on.
And it's a different thing for me, I got to admit. This is
WLS?
challenging and
Pardon?
exhausting at the same time.
Tickets tomorrow.
Okay, are we ready to go here?
Yeah.
Chipper? Are these people set to fly?
WLS. Yes, they are, sir.
Okay, thank you. WLS, you're on the air. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. Hello.
Oh, my goodness, I finally am on the air. Okay, this is Teresa,
Yes.
and I'm just commenting again on this Libya thing, and I think that we are in the right, and we should do what we have to do,
Yeah.
and I don't know how you think, but this is my opinion.
Well, obviously, I'm concerned about the whole situation because it was my decision to take the presidential address and the subsequent press conference afterwards. I mean, I think that, you know, that radio stations have a responsibility to inform and deal with things that are going on, and this is what's going on, and my personal opinion about it one way or the other really has absolutely nothing to do with it to a certain extent.
Right, but my opinion doesn't either.
Sure it does. Sure it does.
But
you see, the difference yes, it does, because there's a big difference. I'm sitting here as part of the media. I'm the one that's putting this on the air.
But I'm a U.S. citizen too, and I've got the same opinion as you do. No different.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm looking at the situation where I'll take the situation as it exists, the issue as it exists, and then we'll let everybody talk about it. And then, supposedly, since this is a democracy, then that's how you arrive at the conclusion of what to do. It's not what one person says, okay, I am this person on the radio, therefore I know what the hell's going on, therefore here's the opinion, and this is what's going to happen.
You know what? It's not the people who say it's the president and the government and all that, that says.
Yeah, but who elects them, huh?
Well, I guess we do.
That's right.
But I don't think so.
What do you mean?
The president came on the air tonight, and he said he thought he was doing right by saying we did right. by, doing our thing and attacking and whatever we did.
It was a defensive, I believe the operable term was a defensive maneuver.
Right. And
attack is one thing, defense is the other. We've got a private line ringing, Chip.
if I was in the government, I would not even be scared of them people. I really wouldn't, because they've done it before, right? They've done it before. I mean, Libya has, I shouldn't even do, we shouldn't even name names, but we went into their territory and they tried us first. So we've got a right to say, hey, now listen here, we've got the right too. And if it comes down to what my friend said tonight that was here, comes down to, whatever.
What'd your friend say?
My friend says that it's going to be war, and I said, no, it's not. Because I don't even like the leader of Libya. I don't even like him. And he's showing himself, if you believe it. He is showing himself. And we're a heck of a lot stronger than he is. So I just hope that it doesn't come down to the nitty-gritty, It doesn't come down to nothing real serious, but...
Yeah. Well, that's one of the nice things about global tension in the past generation or so, is that the world powers, the major world powers, have been able to designate sort of non-smoking areas around the country and around the world, rather, and they can sort of take out their aggressions on an impartial, a smaller third country. So who knows? I don't know.
Well, I don't know either, but I hope we don't back down. In no way, I hope we don't back down, but I don't want no fight either.
I understand what you're saying. You bet. It's a dilemma. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Have a nice night.
Mm-hmm.
WLS, good evening. You're on the air. Hello. Hello, WLS. You're on the air. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering, I don't know, maybe it's something with me, maybe it's, I don't know. I just can't figure out how many times this Gaddafi guy has to get his head banged before he gets it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, you're talking about a whole, you're talking of centuries of motivation, I believe, in this particular instance, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess so. But another thing, you don't mind if I bring up another quick point, do you?
No.
Okay, the thing is, I don't know, if you look at terrorism throughout the world, it's usually been in Western Europe. Now, there's been other cases, but in the United States, really, there hasn't been hardly any. But I'm just thinking, if Gaddafi's getting, how many planes were there? 17 in one fleet, then 18, or...
We had this written down here. What happened to the piece of paper I had here? Chip has been overzealous in his cleaning efforts.
Off the top.
Here we go. 18 F-111s. Right?
Right. And 15 A6 and A5s.
Yeah. Now, if you look at that kind of fleet...
Plus various other supporting planes, tankers, and escort planes, I believe.
Yeah.
And supposedly all of them are back but one.
Right? And one's out of radio contact. And they think maybe it's trying to land at another airport or airfield. It's lost, though.
So, I don't know. If you look, to me, that's a huge fleet. All that going towards Libya just for some... Now, I'm not trying to degrade the incident that happened in or West Germany.
Yeah, the disco.
But it wasn't really that big, but it was serious, of course. But if you look, what it could have happened, say, in our own soil, possibly a bomb going off in a major department store, even in Chicago or something, just to think what Gaddafi would get if he ever tried something like that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Sure I do.
So, I don't know. I'm just thinking Gaddafi's really pushing his luck if he's going to get this, just for... I'm not trying to say a little incident, but really minor compared to what could have happened.
That's the first thought that ran through my mind when the news came out the other day about the handgun legislation that went through.
Yeah.
I tried to take the decision of the Congress as to how they were dealing with the handgun situation and then say, I wonder what that means to international terrorists that are trying to cross the American borders and wreak havoc here. I mean, how easy or how difficult does it make it for them then to obtain the weapons that they're going to need to carry out what they want? I mean, does that make it easier for them to obtain them while they're on American soil, or does that mean that they're going to have to bring them into the country through customs? And there's a big difference in that.
Exactly. I mean, it's incredible. But one more point for all the people out there, a lot of people say, well, they're human too, which they are. But a lot of people have to realize that it's in his religion to kill people. It's his ticket to heaven if he kills, which to me is beyond my imagination.
Well, I don't know about that.
That's at least that's.
This is the one thing that I really believe, and I don't have specific knowledge about this particular instance, so I'm not even going to pretend that I do. But the thing that really irks me is that not only in this situation, but in many other situations around the world, in other countries, you know, the United States supposedly had in its Constitution the situation set up that there was a separation of church and state, so that you wouldn't have the influence of religion over politics. And this is the one thing that bothers me about Jesse Jackson. It bothers me about the 700 Club. It bothers me about Ireland. And so many lives have been taken in the name of religion, not only in, forget Muammar Gaddafi, I mean everywhere, that you would think that somewhere along the line, this particular dichotomy would have been put to rest. But you know, if you I don't know what the stats are on it, but it seems to me that that is one of the main motivating forces for conflict in the world. It's religion, supposedly something that would bring humanity together. And that, you know, you on the one hand you have the front page today of the Pope in a synagogue, and on the other hand you have what you say is somebody who is using religion as a motivation for his ticket to heaven.
Yeah.
Well, okay, enough of my soapbox.
I agree with you. I think there should definitely be separation, and I don't think either should be suppressed by the other one.
All right, well, listen, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
All right, are we going to move on to a completely different subject here?
Yeah, Les Grabstein.
Les Grabstein!
Hey, that was stimulating, though. That was very interesting, talking about those lunatics over there.
Gee, Les, where do you stand on this issue? No, don't answer me. So,
I like that song that was a parody of Barbara Ann called Bomb Iran.
Yeah. Well, tell me, Les, what brings you to our telephones tonight?
Speaking of bombs, Detroit, 10. White Sox, 8. Which means the White Sox continue to have the worst record in baseball. The Cubs have the second worst record in baseball. They didn't lose today. They didn't play. Detroit... He got a 6-run 6th inning and just blew this thing open. Richard Dotson suffered the loss. They got 3 home runs in the game. Lance Parrish hit his first. Darrell Evans hit a line shot down the right field line, a 2-run homer and a solo blast by, of all people, Harry Spillman, who they just signed. He's Greg Walker's cousin. Well, his cousin outdid him. Walker hit 2 homers. That's the good news. The bad news is he tripped chasing a wild pitch when he was trying to charge in on a bunt and suffered a sprained wrist. X-rays were negative, but he had to come out of the ball game. And he had a couple of, like I said, long